This is a Bangarang Community Podcast.
We were meant to climb on high.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Summit Up, your one-stop shop for all things Denver Summit FC, with plenty of side hikes into the greater NWSL landscape, women's sports in Denver, and everything you should know about the culture and community of soccer at 5280. I'm Kaylee, and with me tonight is my co-host Matt. We're going to talk through all things relating to the Racing Louisville match that your Summit pulled out a win against last week. But before we do that, Matt, take us peak to peak.
I was just looking at myself in the camera when I did the peace signs on the introduction. Would this work as like a Summit Up logo? If we do, this is almost like the Usher, like peace up, A-Town down. But we just turn this into Summit Up because it's like a little mountain peak, and then so there, we can make a U. I'm bad at this.
Yeah, I think we can workshop it. I do think peace up, A-Town is probably taken with those hand gestures, but you know, we'll workshop it. Let's see what we can do with it.
Speaking of heroes, we're back with the final KKAAT, aka the Kaylee Kurtz Athlete Ally Tally. I've made it this whole month getting that out in one take. I do want to point out I've had to cut other takes of things, but that's the tongue twister I've been able to solve each episode.
You've been crushing it. I'm honestly surprised.
I know. This is like the whole joy of it is just writing in these kind of like puzzles for myself and seeing if I can get them out. Kaylee herself has confirmed that after the match in Louisville, the final KKAAT is $360. That's a nice number, 360 degrees of support for Athlete Ally and your LGBTQAI plus causes. Here's what she had to say about that.
Happy official Pride Month. To kick off Pride, I made my Athlete Ally donation, to Kaylee, and then I blocked out a bunch of information, and then my total donation, and then I realized I forgot one more thing. So I made a second donation just for $20. Sometimes the math just ain't mathin'. The Denver Summit had 5 total games in the month of May, and for every game, goal, clean sheet, and assist by a defender, I donated $20 to Athlete Ally. We ended up raising $360. If you match my donation of $360 to any LGBTQIA organization, then you will be entered into a raffle giveaway for my Pride Night game worn jersey. If you donate $1, $5, $10, whatever you can, and send me a DM showing me your donation, then you'll be entered into a different giveaway for my cleats. Get those donations in by June 4th at midnight. A little later's fine, but I'll be asleep because I will be picking the winners on June 5th, sometime after training. Get your donations and your DMs into me, and happy Pride. Dingus wanted to make sure that you knew. Luca, happy Pride! Happy Pride.
Importantly, as you're likely listening to this on the deadline day for your submission to donate match, go ahead and get it in and make sure you screenshot and send that to Kaylee on Instagram for your chance to win her game-worn Pride jersey from that match at Dick's Sporting Goods Park and the victory over Orlando Pride. KK will draw and announce the winner on Friday, June 5th, so stay tuned to her socials for that. On the Pride note, we have to note the Pride Guide Denver Summit put out for the community. With no games in June, it would have been really easy for them to have done the Pride match against Orlando and called it a day. However, Summit have partnered with the Center on Colfax to fundraise throughout June, as well as saved you a bunch of work planning your social calendar by compiling all of the Pride events that you're going to want to go to. This is all going to culminate with appearances at the Denver Pride Fest and Denver Pride Parade on June 28th. So don't be shy. Come out, show your pride. It's a blast. There's always like free swag and giveaways thrown out. So you're going to be in rainbow colored Denver Summit, Denver Nuggets glasses for the rest of the summer. It's the vibe. Speaking of vibes, Summit announced Kong as an official partner. Kaylee and I talked about this pre-show, and this is just, file this under things you love to see in the world. Like, this just lifted my spirits. They had this to say: we're incredibly excited at Denver Summit FC to partner with Kong, a brand that shares our commitment to energy, play, and community. Together, we're looking forward to creating moments that bring fans and their four-legged companions into the heart of the Summit experience. This was Denver Summit FC Vice President of Business and Strategy, Kaylee Cohen, which I'm just going to go ahead and read between the lines for you guys there. Bark at the Park is
happening. I can see it. I can see it too. Read between the lines. They don't have a date, but it's totally happening this summer.
As soon as we know, we're not really the leak information type of outlet, but that is something we will leak. So if you're trying to keep it a secret,
hunt down this date. Yeah, I'm going to be on the hunt for this date. I cannot wait. And I really hope that the Bark at the Park invitation extends to press, because my dog would love to be in the press box. She would be very nervous, but she would be very excited, and she'd be very cute in her Summit hat. Don't you worry. She is quite the cutie pie.
Just imagining the post-game press conference when you raise her paw, like, we have a question in the front row, please.
Murphy Long has a question she would like to ask. Okay, I don't know. This is a complete side tangent. I don't know if anybody has seen the president of Ireland's press conferences as of late, but he always has a Bernese Mountain Dog at his feet. And all I'm saying is I'm not a president of anything, but I could have a dog at my feet during press if somebody wanted that. So, and she's very cute. She's also a Bernese Mountain Dog.
I mean, I think we can make Murphy the president of Summit Up, and then you by proxy the assistant to the president, to general.
Yeah.
What is it?
I'll be her VP. I'm a great number 2, so I'll be Murphy's vice president any day.
Yeah, can you imagine a whole press conference of just like, hi, I'm sorry, Janine, were there any cool smells on the pitch tonight? Just asking for the fan base. I think you were rolling at one point. Was that because someone else had rolled there and you were communicating with them? How was your game of fetch?
It sounds like Summit, if you're Summit, if you're hearing it, it sounds like we have a lot of really good ideas for this Kong and Summit partnership. I don't know, photo shoot, a make press conference. Turn to us if you need any pups in gear for that collaboration. Let us know.
I've one last personal aside. Our dog Amos has a very rich internal monologue, and by internal monologue, I mean Ally and I often make Amos's voice as an external monologue. And so I play soccer, Ally's a marathoner, and whenever we get home from that, because typically she'll go for her runs the same time I'll have my soccer matches, and we'll both get home at the same time. And in Amos's voice, we typically ask ourselves, like, Mom, how was your game of getting chased? Dad, how was your game of fetch? Did you get the ball a lot? Like, so this is the type cute. Of we can come up with like a Summit Pup episode for Bark in the Park.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I can't wait for Bark in the Park. I will mark the date. We tried to go to the Rockies Bark in the Park this past couple months ago, and it got so rainy and cold that I just couldn't swing it. I couldn't bring myself to sit in the mist. So all I have to say is Murphy is due for a Bark in the Park.
We went to a Bark in the Park last year with Amos at the Dick's Sporting Goods field for the Rapids, and a massive thunderstorm rolled in. And being like in the concourse with, I would say, easily 100 dogs, just like terrified of a thunderstorm was quite an experience. Yeah,
that sounds less than optimal for the pups. But moving on to
experiences, though, do you want to? Yeah.
Speaking of experiences, yes, Matt, thank you for that segue. We will move into our Summit versus Racing recap. After a hard-fought loss in Utah, your very own Denver Summit FC went into our now in full swing break on a high note. Denver traveled to Louisville looking to keep that momentum rolling. And while this wasn't nearly as flashy as the 3-2 thriller against the Pride, it might have been one of the most mature performances we've seen from this team all season. It was a classic road game, physical, scrappy, not always pretty, but Denver found a way to get the result. Nick Cushing rolled out a largely familiar lineup from the opening whistle, and it felt like both teams were trying to establish control without giving much away. Racing Louisville had moments, Denver had moments. Neither side looked particularly dangerous for long stretches, and honestly, it kind of felt like the type of game that might come down to just one mistake or one moment of brilliance. Turns out it was a little bit of both. The breakthrough came in the 64th minute, and it came from a player who had only been on the field for a few minutes. Your very own Colorado native, Ally Brazier, entered the match as a substitute and immediately made an impact, scoring her first goal for Denver Summit FC in what would ultimately become the game winner. Can we just take a second, Matt, there to appreciate that she came off the bench in a scoreless road match, touched the game for a few minutes, and then scored what would be the winning goal. I mean, let's go, Ally. Let's see it. I don't know if you got to see her reaction, but she almost seemed surprised in herself by that.
I want to show this whole highlight because it really is a tremendous team effort. Louisville start their attack in their own half via Colorado's own Lauren Millier. She puts the ball to Taylor Flint at the half line, who then sends a streaking slant up and left to Emma Sears. Sears lays off the ball to Kayla Fisher, who looks to put a cross into a defense-splitting Katie O'Kane, but can't because she's immediately closed down by Ava Gaetino. What happens next here is special because this wasn't just a Route 1 counterattack. The patience and passing patterns that led to this goal are a thing of beauty. After Ava wins the ball, she chips it up and out of danger to Yaz. Yaz then sends a cutback pass to Delaney. Delaney splits her markers and puts it back up and right to Yaz. Yaz draws the markers and slots it back down the line to Janine. Janine back to Ava, and Ava Gaetino takes one touch to set up a 60-yard aerial bomb to Ally Brazier, who flying kick passes the volley around Taylor Flint and right into the path of Una McCormick. Una puts a perfectly weighted ball up and between Yuzu and Aaron Wright, just enough to pull Aaron out of position as Ally Brazier, who started sprinting through the defense as soon as she laid off that volley from Ava, reaches the back post and gets her foot on the ensuing needle-threading and expertly in-curling pass from Yuzu Yamamoto. Maddie Prohaska, the rookie keeper, has the presence and pace to get to the back post to cut off Ally Brazier, but Ally has the composure to touch the ball up and left of the right-sliding goalkeeper. Goal. And as you listen to this call from Mike Watts and Leanne Sanderson, listen to the hot mic picking up all of Ally's teammates shouting her name as they rush in to celebrate her.
How amazing is that?
Yeah, I love that video. This speaks true to how much it means to players to go back home, you know, it's a lovely feeling.
Sears, Fisher, and knocked down and sent upfield by Gattino. Brazier trying to lead the line. Brazier, that's an epic touch. McCormack spots Yamamoto. This is Bright from Denver toward Brazier! Ally Brazier first for her hometown club. That was a bolt of lightning from Denver Summit, and they lead in Louisville just past an hour.
Play, but to come into this game and to score, as McCormack getting on the ball again, and Yamamoto here, I'm thinking, what's she seen here? That is an unbelievable threading needles type of pass. Look at this weight of ball. Look at this weight of pass. Lovely. And Ally Brazier is in the right place, makes a great movement. I'm so delighted for her, but that is an unbelievable ball from Yamamoto, because most players in that situation, Yamamoto would have taken a touch and taken it herself. And I'm delighted for Ally Brazier, a player that I said I'm surprised hasn't got more minutes on this team, works hard for the team.
Here's what Ally had to say about that goal to our own Hallie Gardo in the post-game press conference.
Hi, Ally. They gave you a lot of space there in the wings tonight. Were you guys expecting that? And what did you see in the lead up to your goal? It looked like you kind of started centrally, started changing your run to the back post there with that pass from Izuki.
They were, I think, really trying hard to push us down our right side, and so what we were trying to do, I think, is just go from our right, overload to isolate to the left side, and we were able to really find a way to isolate over to the left side, then to thus the result of our goal. I just knew when Izuki was in there, I was like, I better be in the freaking box because I haven't been on that long, and you just like, you start to learn who your players are, and she's a very tactical savvy, very smart player. So you knew that she was going to set me up somewhere. And so I just had to make sure I was in the area and then just run off based off that run and just put my body on the line. So I just knew that we were executing the game plan well and solving their pressure really well. That was what led to the goal.
Talk about taking your shots, like comes off the bench, does this. This was a special goal and assist for the duo there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a kind of setup and the kind of contributions that coaches dream about from coming off the bench. And no doubt they have been practicing runs like that in practice. From there, Denver did something that has become increasingly common this season, and they continue to manage the game well. I think in previous games, especially after Utah, there were a couple questions about whether the team could consistently close out tight matches. I'm not asking that question anymore. The Summit back line had looked incredibly organized this game. The midfield stayed disciplined, and Racing Louisville pushed for an equalizer, but Denver never felt panicked. There wasn't that frantic energy that we've occasionally seen when trying to protect a lead. Instead, they looked like a team that was expected to win. They were playing their game, and what I can only assume was actively working on this elusive missing piece that Coach Cushing has been referencing in our conversations with him. I think, Matt, my biggest takeaway from this match is that this wasn't necessarily Denver's most exciting performance, and it wasn't their most dominant attacking display, but it may have been one of their most professional and cohesive looking.
These are the games, like you said earlier, with the mature performance, that cohesive teams, winning teams, find ways to just salt out. A 1-0 win is never going to be the marquee fanfare event that you hope for. A 1-0 win is going to be the trail markers on the way to a championship. This is I think, a perfect building piece to go into the break of. This wasn't a flashy win. This was a professional win. And this is something you build off of.
Mm-hmm. And consistently earning those points, that is what makes such a big difference. I've been really impressed with the different ways that this team is finding to win. Against Houston, they came out explosive offensively. Against Orlando, they showed a lot of resilience in the back and forth battle. And against Louisville, they really won with that patience and organization and defensive discipline. All traits of a team that stick around for playoff conversations, and something I'm really looking forward to seeing. But speaking of their defense here, they deserve a ton of credit here. Clean sheets on the road are hard to come by in this league. Racing Louisville is a team with plenty of attacking talent, and Denver limited a truly dangerous moment while staying compact and connected for the majority of the night. Heading into the break, I think Denver has to feel really good about where they're at, but we'll hear more about what they're actually feeling in the post-game presser. If I had to sum it up in one sentence, I'd say the best teams in this league don't really have to win pretty, but they have to get the job done. And Denver is starting to do that with a lot of consistency.
It's going to be a new segment for us. Just like one sentence, sum it up.
Yep. You're welcome. I
don't know that either of us like practice brevity much, but like maybe we could try.
Yeah. I don't think anyone listening to this, making it through all of our episodes, think that we're very succinct. But hopefully entertaining.
You guys have never heard Kaylee and I in a car together after a win. There's no brevity.
There's no brevity. There's also not a lot of silence. We are chit-chatty all the way home with a lot of ideas. That is for sure. But with those ideas, on to the post-game press conference. Matt, tell us what we heard.
Yeah, so I think a couple of things you heard is just the impression that Ally made coming off the bench. Questions were asked to Nick and to Ally herself about her role being more limited thus far this season. I believe I think even Hallie commented on a past episode of the show that with Nick's current formation being more of a 4-4-2, or as he'll describe, a 4-2-2-2, it doesn't leave a lot of formational minutes for wingers. That's something that Ally has had to bide her time with. They train extremely hard and make the most of her minutes coming in there. So for this one, like you said, to come off the bench, the last match of this part of the season, to have that goal, reward herself, reward her team, reward the substitution into the game. That's something that's going to carry over for the off season, or for the season break, planning in the formations of the next season. I think you'll also hear that Nick is not pleased with 15 points, but he seemed almost, that was a proper expectation for where they would be with the amount of away games that they've played going into the season, the second half of the season, where they'll have such a preponderance of home games, that this is a platform that's probably a pretty fair assessment of their progress so far as an expansion team, even though they don't like to use that phrase, and a real jumping off platform for them to make noise towards the postseason here when we resume on July 3rd. I think another thing that you'll hear is that this Louisville side wasn't something to take lightly. They came out, a big thing you'll have noted in, I think it was the 84th minute, the 87th minute, like Abby Smith really saves the day, keeps the 3-point result versus a draw, as she has 2 fantastic saves against Emma Sears, someone we said was going to be a big problem for this Summit side going into this match. And that defensive effort, that staying together, was something I think everyone appreciated and noted for this match. Here again are Mike Watts and Leanne Sanderson on the call for those epic Abby Smith saves.
It truly incredible. This falls to Fisher, sweeps it ahead. Maybe the chance for Louisville. There's Abby Smith.
Because the initial play, I have a feeling Kayla Fisher, this might have been called back for a handball if she got on the end of it, because it looked like she handballed it in that moment. Sears does a good job. I mean, Abby Smith comes out of her goal impeccably in that moment. What a way to come off your line. It actually goes through her legs, but comes out nice and fast.
Out into space. Smith retreats because Sears is flying. Sears the cut! Sears! Smith! Abby Smith! Sears hit the brakes like a Lamborghini and couldn't get it by Abby Smith.
I'll tell you what, Mike, if this would have been a goal, the way she sat down, 2 players in this moment, look at this, sits them down, Kurtz, Katina goes sliding, and it was a weird one because it was like she got caught in 2 minds. I think here you just have to, she takes a look, but you don't need to look, and then she puts it in that window that I think is like that window for a goalkeeper.
Here's what Abby Smith had to say to our own Hallie Gardo and Burgundy Waves' Matt Pollard about the last stand and epic Emma Sears save in the post-game press conference.
Hi, Abby. Things got a little hectic there again down the stretch. But you're able to seek it out. What was we could see you try to calm the back line down. What were kind of your messages and the talks amongst the team there in those last 5 or 6 minutes?
Yeah, with the last couple of minutes, we know that Louisville's a really hard team, and we're in their home. And so they're a team that stays in it until the very last second. And so we're trying to stay focused, trying to keep everybody on the same page, making sure that we keep the shutout and making sure that we keep the win. It's really hard to put a full game together. And so that was our focus for this match, honestly, going forward, because we want to keep growing and we want to keep developing and making sure that we're also growing mentally and staying sharp.
Walk me through that crazy save you had where, Emma Sears is dribbling forward, cuts, puts a player, I think 2 on their butts. What are you thinking in that moment when you're trying to save it and keep the 1-goal lead?
Honestly, when that happened, there's probably some words that I probably shouldn't repeat, but at the same time, I was just like, our defenders did a good job to slow her down. And as soon as she cut it back, I was like, okay, I need to help the team and be as big as I possibly can. Part of it was closing the space and being patient. So I'm just really happy that as a whole, our back line worked really hard to keep the shutout. And honestly, the entire team put in a hard performance to make sure that we won the game and we're leaving with a clean sheet.
Here are some of our highlights from the post-game press conference availability.
First time I've been able to catch you after a win, so congrats. You made a couple changes to that starting lineup. Obviously, Tosh forced out with injury, but what were you looking for from Yuzuki tonight, who ultimately got an assist and Liz starting up top?
Yeah, it was more of a blend of profiles. We knew we had to make a change with Tash being injured. I knew we'd have more box presence with Olivia Thomas and Melissa Kostler in the team. Louisville are a team that want to go direct and will try and hit you on counter-attack. So I knew having 2 strikers and then Yuzuki and Yasmin Ryan between the lines, almost playing like a 4-2-2-2 would give us chances. And we started the game really well, multiple chances in the first 25, 35 minutes. At half-time, I think we were at 1.5 goals on expected goals. So it was more almost trying to call Louisville's bluff a little bit and be as direct as they're going to be direct, and I thought it worked well.
Hey Nick, good to see you. Congrats on the win. Thank you for the time. Ally's path hasn't exactly been linear in terms of, being the first signing in club's history, starting the first game, coming so close to a winner at Empower against the Spirit, but she sort of had to fight for minutes ever since. Can you take me through your perspective of her season so far in that sense and why that path has made this goal so special?
Ally Brazier, 10 out of 10 season in the sense of attitude, behaviour, commitment and investment to the team, hard work, exceptional. And the most difficult part of my job is picking the team because there's a tactical element to it. There's competition for places with different players, and maybe there was 1 or 2 moments, the chance in Bay, the chance in Spirit that Ally could have taken, but she's worked incredibly hard, came off the bench and helped us in multiple games. And I really felt tonight, especially with Liv making her debut, Ally would play a really important part in the game. And, you see not only the goal, but just the work rate, and her hold-up play and link-up play was top. So really, really pleased.
Nick, not quite halfway in the season in terms of number of games played, but I've been joking this is the apertura of the NWSL. Big picture, you've got a lot of home games coming up the second half of the season. Lindsay's on her way. Are you happy with where the team is at tactically, implementation-wise? Are you happy with where you are results in the table?
Really pleased with performances. Probably the first 25 minutes in Bay, I was disappointed. With the way that we started. I was disappointed with the performance in Boston. Outside of that, I think we've competed in every game. So the way that we want to play, we want to create chances in every phase of the game. You can see that in the goals at Gotham, in counter-attack, the goals at Orlando, in build-up. We've got a variety in the way that we can create chances. Only scored 1 from set play in the Orlando home game. So I think there's an area where we can add offensive volume there. We've changed the team a little bit. Multiple players have contributed in different games. Tactically, we've made some small adjustments, but principally we've been the same team, which I'm really, really pleased with. 15 points at this stage is okay with the amount of road games we've had, but the reality is there is a little bit of discontent in our group, players and staff, and we've discussed that, right? We probably should win on the road in Seattle. We probably should win on the road in Utah if you look at the stats and the data and the way the game went. So that's 6 points we probably should add to the 15 that we've got. But this is football. We know that this break gives us a really big opportunity to continue to work, to continue to improve. And we're adding Lindsay, right, which is going to be a huge help. So for us, we're content with the ambition and the drive and the hunger to continue to improve. I think the most exciting part of our team now is the home games that we've got, and we can't wait to play in front of our fans.
Nick, Yamamoto with her first start for the club. I know she's a little bit late to preseason, cultural, language barrier and all. Your thoughts on her performance, not just the assists, and maybe this kind of capping off a good run of her integrating into the team?
Yeah, really good. I thought today she played really well. I think you can see the technical qualities she has between the lines. But we've been communicating a lot with Yuzuki about offensive volume, about attacking numbers, creating and scoring. And, my belief, if you're going to play in that position where Yuzuki played or where Yasmin Ryan played or in the 10, you're probably going to have to be at about 15 goals and assists, 10 and 5, goals and assists, 7 and 8. So to get her first start and get an assist, I think is really, really positive and gives us real direction as a team and with individuals where we got to go. So really pleased with Yuzuki tonight. I think the intensity of the NWSL was an experience for Yuzuki because she was cramping, but yeah, exciting addition to the squad and an excellent person as well. A great character, really good personality, fitted in really, really well.
Hey, Ally, Brayden Nurse for the Denver Post. You've kind of had a winding road of a season so far, being the club's first signing. And then, after the first few games and nearly scoring a winner in the home opener, minutes haven't always been guaranteed. Have there been moments this season for you personally that you think back to, whether good or bad, that have helped you get to this moment or, made the work worth it for this goal and how you scored it?
I'm just like every minute, every second with this team is worth every minute. And I think it's just playing a role. So my role today was going in and make a difference, and I did. My role is to be a good support teammate whenever I can, and that's what I'll do. So whatever role I need to be is what I'll do, and that's what everyone knows here on this team. So I think we're just all going to win no matter what.
Hi, Ally. Thanks for the time. Matt Pollard, Burgundy Wave. Nice to meet you. Big picture, how are you feeling about where the team's at in terms of tactical implementation of, what Nick's trying to build with the team, where you guys are in the table, and the fact that you've got almost a month now, but lots of home games, Lindsay Heaps coming on in the second half of the season?
I think we're in a really good place. I think what we just keep saying, we're making amazing opportunities for ourselves. We're just not finishing it. So I think now we're going to keep getting to the point of putting ourselves in good position, and now just executing is our main issue we're having. So once we're just getting down to little details, then I think this team will be unstoppable.
Ally, kind of a crazy final 10 minutes there, including stopping with all the chances. Abby Smith maybe with save of the week. What were the conversations and maybe the little breaks that you had, the timeouts with, Eva being down? And what can you say about what Abby's done at times when her number's been called?
I think Abby's just been phenomenal this whole year. I think she's really has kept us in the games, and she's very dependable, as she just showed that today. The opportunity they had at the end was one of her many saves she had. I don't think that's her best save she had all game, and she just really does a good job of keeping us in. So if either with one of her two amazing saves in the second half is not goal save of the week, then that's actually insane. So, but no, she's been solid. The whole year. Our back line's been solid the whole year. Our center backs are putting their bodies on the line, just running themselves into the ground. So the grit and getting clean plate for them is really, really just a big accomplishment, because they've been putting in all the time fighting for us, and then we're finally getting a goal in the back of net for them to repay them. So all around, we were able to execute today.
Thank you. Congrats, Ally.
Thank you.
You touched on it a little bit, but just your excitement, kind of getting this first goal under your belt. I know how much work you guys have put in all season long to finally see that one go to the back of the net. What did that feel like?
I was just really exhausted but excited. I know I wasn't on the field long, but I put my head down, just ran into that box. But I think it's just it just put so much pressure off of us, because I think the whole time we were just executing, we were getting opportunities, we were getting chances in the box, we just weren't finishing them. So I think I just made it very, very in my head. It was I better just put this on goal, and I did. So I think it was just a weight off our shoulders to realize finally all of our hard work has been paying off to get this opportunity, and then we just had to see out the rest of the game.
Abby, thanks for the time. Congratulations. Talk to me big picture. Obviously, a lot to talk about in this game, but how are you feeling about the style of play that the team has, the quality of it, where you all are in the table, and the fact that maybe the schedule gets a little easier in the second half of the season with Lindsay joining the team in some actual home games?
Well, I just want to start with I'm really happy with our result tonight, and the style of play has been growing and developing with every game and every training session. To be completely honest, I don't think our season gets any easier in the second half, because we are through a third of our season. And so we come back from the break and it's a big push. Obviously, we're in front of our home fans a lot more. So that's nice to have the backing when we can play at home. But I do think that this group is growing and developing with every day. And so it's really exciting to be here and be with this group and see the growth that we've had.
Abby, a couple changes to the starting lineup tonight. Yuzuki got a lot of minutes there. Ally Brazier gets her first goal. How important is it to kind of see more players make, significant contributions, get comfortable within the team as you kind of stretch into a busy part of the season to come?
Yeah, I think this is something that every team takes into account. It takes everybody. We have a very long season and all the games are really hard. So you never know when your moment's going to come. And so when it does come, we rally around everyone that's in and out of the starting lineup, because it's never easy trying to get into the starting lineup, and it's really hard to stay in the starting lineup. We have a really competitive group, and after we have changes that go on, you have to roll with the punches. And so I'm really proud of our group. I'm really proud of Ally for getting the goal. It's really exciting to see her hit the back of the net. And Yuzu, I am really proud of her as well, just because it's hard coming into this league. It really is. Olivia did a great job starting for us. And I'm really excited and happy that our group put together a full performance and we're going home with a win going into this break.
With that game in the books, we enter a month-long break. It'll be 2 weeks off for the players. They'll come back in. They'll get to reload with Lindsay Heaps, maybe other world-class players, as we've heard Nick mention, and they will start towards the second half of the season. I think what we can say here is that Denver being in 9th place, one spot below the playoff line, is exciting. Fans should be just roaring for July 3rd to hit. I want to throw a little shade and say that Boston being in 14th also feels a little good, considering we didn't win when we went on that trip. So, I don't know, maybe
hey, easy now.
Hey,
there a lot can happen.
We got to take our wins when we can get them. And since we didn't get one
It's
in
true.
Boston, I'll take one on the table right now.
Yep.
The teams above us, San Diego Wave, Utah Royals, you saw those matches there. Those are good teams. San Diego, even like we had that lead on them. And then Portland Thorns, your Washington Spirit. You've got that game that's going to happen on July 18th. We talked about where Sophia Smith comes and visits us with the Thorns, and then the Spirit with Trinity Rodman. Those are like just gigantes in the NWSL. Gotham, KC Current, same deal. So really, North Carolina and Orlando Pride being above us in 7th and 8th, and the other big 6 of the NWSL leading off the top of the table, I would be really confident as a Summit player, a Summit coach, and a Summit fan for what we've done in this first half.
I totally agree. I can't wait for the second half of the season. I think it's going to be, we've seen the growth, we've seen the trajectory. It now sounds like a lot of fine tuning is happening, and I just can't wait to see what the girls do.
What I can't wait is that all of this fine tuning, this trajectory that we're going to see, it's going to be mostly here in Denver.
Finally,
And
it
mostly
feels like
at
it's
the new
been
stadium in Centennial.
Yeah, I can't wait to just, have so many home games instead of so many on the road. I feel like they played their whole first half of the season on the road.
Yeah. For all of you that navigated the CBS Sports Network, Ion, NWSL, YouTube, Victory Plus, Amazon Prime, the rewards will come here in the latter half of the summer and fall when we really get to go show up and show out for the team.
And the opportunity will also be more than ever present, because your team has said multiple times that the fans make a huge difference. It is like having an extra player on the team. So that just means we now have the opportunity to actually make an impact more than we have before, more than ever before, by showing up consistently and being there for the team.
I mean, you all are on record as not only being the best expansion team fan base in NWSL history, I would argue probably with the Mile High game, the Summit High game, best fan base in NWSL history, period. Let alone when we start talking about MLS and other competitions around the United States. That said, we got a couple of weeks in between the next games. Kaylee, you want to talk about some of the fun stuff we're going to be doing?
Yes, we are not leaving you all high and dry. We have several fun things planned for you guys, including a couple of special guests that you can stay tuned on our socials to find out who they are. We will be revealing them shortly. And then also we're going to be doing a superlatives episode. So just kind of a recap of this first half of the season and who we think gets which award. Now, we do want our fans of the show, not just the fans of the team, but our fans and listeners here to be a part of that episode. So we are going to be asking you to send in your audio clips to our DMs of your superlatives for the team, and they will be played on air. So we are excited to have all of your voices with us alongside of us on the show. Be sure to send those in and DM us your superlatives. More to come on that on our socials as well.
Send your videos too, not just audio. For those of you that might listen to this on Apple, on Spotify, we also have all of our episode video up on our YouTube youtube.com/@bangrangsc. So if you not only want to hear your dulcet voice in earbuds, but want the world to see your beautiful Summit face, send us a whole video of the superlatives once we put that list out.
Or even if you just want to send us a video of you saying "sum it up," we'll take that too. We want to bring you guys in while we have the time to be more involved with you guys during this break. It is a full steam ahead effort to get episodes out for you guys every week. So we want to thank you by including you in ours over the break.
If we can just get like a whole just reserve of people saying "sum it up," I will make a super cut of that in the off season and release a 33-minute April Fool's episode of just fans saying "sum it up."
Fans saying that, and then April Fool's also including all of our bloopers, because my gosh, do we have several of those.
You're not deleting them, right?
No, I'm not deleting them. Of course not. Not the ones of me.
These are just the collateral of how we keep each other on the show. We're like, I'm gonna release that video of.
Yeah, this is blackmail, I guess, technically.
Evergreen mail. Evergreen.
Color scheme, yes.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, well, is there anything else, Matt, that you would like to say to our listeners on this beautiful day, recapping the Louisville Racing versus Summit game?
The Louisville Racing. How do you say Louisville? Let's end with that. Just clear. Remember when we had the Louisville?
It's like if you had marbles in your mouth. Could I spell it?
Okay. Louisville.
Louisville. Oh, phonetically spell. I was like, I know how to spell Louisville. Phonetically, no, I don't think I can spell it. Like maybe like Lul. It's spelled like it sounds. Louisville. You're gonna need to edit
perfect
this
note in. No, that part has to stay in. That's the gold. Yeah.
Oh man. You all can find us on any platform that you get your podcasts, and especially on Instagram and Blue Sky at Summit Up Show. Be sure to check us out in those areas and send us a DM if you're feeling spicy.
And
please cut all of that.
Sum it up.
Please cut that out.
No, your call for spicy DMs is staying in the episode. I'm
worried about what we're gonna get. No, I'm worried that I didn't mean it. I meant spicy as in like
we
yay
only
Summit.
Want G-rated spicy comment, guys.
Yeah, what's less than G?
For that reason.
E, rated E for everyone, whatever that is.
Rated E for everyone.
Yeah, I take it back.
That sound effect in the beginning, they're like, boing, rated E for everyone.
Exactly.
All right, sum it up.
Sum it up.
Nice. Spicy.
Check out our Colorado Rapids sibling show, Pidcast, and our soccer conversation series, Interrobang. Most importantly, we aim to be a collective human soccer show for community-minded soccer humans. So do your best corner flag side right into our DMs.